Welcome, dear friend. If you are between 65 and 80 years of age, and you find that you can still do the 8 simple but deeply meaningful things we will talk about today, I want you to know you are not just aging well, you are aging beautifully, with strength, dignity, and grace. Your odds of living to 100, not just living, but truly thriving, are far greater than you may believe. Because long life isn't simply granted by luck or by the genes we inherit. It is built, little by little, through the small choices, the gentle efforts, and the quiet courage we bring into each day. Before we begin, please consider subscribing and turning on that bell icon so you can journey with us through more reflections like this. If this video touches your heart, I invite you to type 1 in the comments. And if you feel we could do better, type 0. Your voice helps us grow. Sign number 1. You can rise from a chair without using your hands. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Just standing up from a chair. And yet this small, quiet act speaks volumes about your strength, your balance, and the harmony of your body. When you can stand from a chair without needing to push off with your hands, without straining forward to gather momentum, it means that your legs are still strong, your core is engaged, and your body remembers how to move as one. Let me tell you about Edward, 77 years old. Edward had always been active, but during a visit to his granddaughter's school play, he noticed something. As he stood up to applaud, he realized he had used his hands to push off from the chair. It seemed small at the time, but in that moment, Edward felt a whisper of worry. He chose not to ignore that feeling. Every day, Edward began doing simple, gentle exercises, seated leg lifts, slow heel raises, mindful breathing as he moved. Weeks turned into months, and one day he rose from his chair with ease. No hands, no strain, just strength. And he smiled knowing he had claimed back a piece of his independence. When you can rise with ease, you hold on to more than just your physical ability. You hold on to your freedom, your confidence, your sense of self. Sign number 2. You can walk briskly without losing your breath. Your walking pace is not just a measure of speed. It is a quiet reflection of how your heart, your lungs, and your muscles work together in harmony. Margaret, 75 years old, had always loved her evening walks. They were her time to think, to feel the breeze, to greet neighbors with a smile. But one summer evening, she found herself slowing down, stopping often to catch her breath. At first, she told herself it was just the heat, but deep down, she knew something had changed. Margaret decided she wouldn't let that small slowing become her new normal. She began timing her walks, gently challenging herself to go a little farther, a little faster each week. Slowly but surely, her strength returned. Today, Margaret walks with confidence, and she keeps up with her teenage grandson, her heart full of pride and joy. When you can walk briskly, without effort, it means your body is working as it should, and even more, it means you are still moving through life with purpose. Sign number 3. You can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds. Balance is one of those gifts we often don't think about until it begins to slip away. When you can stand on one foot, steady and sure, it means your core, your legs, your nerves, your vision, your inner ear, all are working together, holding you upright, keeping you safe. Helen, 78 years old, had always prided herself on her brace. But one morning, as she was putting on her shoe, she wobbled, reaching out to the dresser to steady herself. That small moment stayed with her, a reminder that balance, once lost, is not easily regained. But Helen did not give in to fear. She began with tiny steps, heel raises at the kitchen counter, gentle side leg lifts, simply shifting her weight from one foot to the other. With time, she found her center again, and not long after, at her niece's wedding, Helen took to the dance floor, steady, joyful, proud. When you can balance well, you're doing more than avoiding falls. You're walking through the world with confidence, free of fear, full of strength.
Sign number 4. You can get down on the floor and back up without help. This ability, simple as it may seem, is one of the clearest signs of lasting independence. Charles, 79 years old, loved nothing more than playing on the floor with his great-grandson, building towers, pushing toy cars. But one afternoon, when asked to join, he paused. Not because he didn't want to, but because he wasn't sure he could get back up again. That pause became his turning point. Charles began practicing slow, mindful kneeling, light squats, learning to rise without pulling on furniture. In time, he was back on the floor, laughing, playing, present. And he felt not just stronger, but free. When you can move to the floor and rise again, you are holding on to your ability to engage fully with life in all its moments. Sign number 5. You can carry a grocery bag without struggle. Strength is not always about lifting heavy weights. It is about being able to carry what life asks of you with ease, with confidence. Dorothy, 76 years old, noticed one day that the grocery bags felt heavier than they used to. She realized it wasn't the bags that had changed, it was her. But Dorothy didn't let that realization defeat her. She began with small daily efforts, light shoulder presses, grip exercises with a soft ball, lifting small weights with steady breath. Over time, she reclaimed her strength, and with it, her sense of self. When you can carry your own groceries, you are carrying more than food. You are carrying your independence, your resilience, your readiness for the world. Sign number 6. You can climb stairs without stopping. A flight of stairs may seem like a small thing, but it asks much of us. A strong heart, deep breath, steady legs, clear focus. John, 74 years old, always took the stairs until the day came when he found himself breathless after just one flight. That day, he made a choice. Rather than avoiding stairs, he embraced them. Step by slow step, he rebuilt his endurance. He added walks, leg exercises, deep breaths, and in time, stairs became his ally again, not his enemy. When you can climb stairs without stopping, it means your body is still working together, still lifting you upward, still moving you forward.
Sign number 7. You remember recent conversations and details clearly. Your memory is the quiet storyteller of your brain's health. When you can recall a conversation from yesterday, a name, a detail, it means your mind is sharp, your blood flows well, your neurons are still firing strong. Lillian, 80 years old, treasures her memory. She reads every morning, solves puzzles, joins lively discussions with friends.
"My mind is my greatest treasure," she says, "and I nurture it every single day." When you remember well, you are keeping alive the connections that make life rich and meaningful. Sign number 8. You wake up feeling rested and ready. How you wake each morning says so much about how your body is healing, restoring, and preparing you for the day ahead. Arthur, 73 years old, found himself waking groggy, dragging through the day. But small changes, a calming bedtime routine, setting down screens early, a warm cup of tea, transformed his nights. He began to wake with clarity, focus, and strength, and with that, his days became brighter. When you wake rested, you are giving yourself the greatest gift, a body and mind ready to embrace whatever comes. The strength of your spirit. Beyond all these signs, perhaps the greatest measure of how well we are aging is the strength of our hearts, the kindness in our hearts, the hope we carry, the joy we choose each morning. Eleanor, 79 years old, says, "My body may be slower, but my heart grows stronger. Every day I choose joy." When your spirit stays bright, your years are not just long, they are full. Final reflection and invitation. Take a quiet moment. Which of these signs do you see in yourself? Which small step can you begin today? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Your words don't just inspire us, they inspire others walking the same path. If this video touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more heartfelt content for all who seek to age with strength, grace, and purpose.